Hey everyone, and welcome to the Beyond Life and Fitness podcast. I'm Cheryl Patton.
And I'm Megan Prince.
We started this podcast as a way to connect with more people who are struggling to fit it all in. The workouts, the food, kids, work, and relationships.
We know that we're not perfect, but we hope that through our struggles and our mistakes and our failures and our successes that we can help more people through their challenges and be successful. So if you want some tips and tricks to help you along your journey to be the best version of yourself, then this is it.
Today we wanted to kind of touch on a very common thing that happens, I think, with everybody. I think it's a little bit of human nature. It's the self-comparison game. And with the social media being everywhere, people are able to take videos, photos of themselves 24/7, upload it, and you can see everybody's highlight reels all the time, no matter what platform you tend to hang out on. When you are going through your own personal transformation journey, social media can have its pros and its cons. I know one client right now who is in the process of going through a program right now. That was sort of one of her comments that came back through in a check-in, was that she feels like she is not doing the same as everybody else. She's not losing weight at the same rate as everybody else. She feels like she should be further ahead based on what she is seeing in social media. And so learning how to pull that comparison out of the picture, out of the frame, I think is definitely easier said than done. Like, you compete, I compete. I know there are some people on social media that I just have to stay away from as we kind of get closer and closer to, our competition dates. Because, it's very easy just to scroll through and look at everybody's best of the best pictures and best of the best videos. And you're like, why don't I look like that? Or why can't, So I'm sure you've had clients same way.
I think social media is hard to navigate, right? Because I don't know how much of it is truth. I don't know how much of it's lighting. I don't know how much of it's how long was that person actually doing that transformation for. Sometimes they'll show you a transformation, but then they don't say how long it was for. Maybe it was years. Maybe they had to go through an eating disorder. Maybe they were binging. Maybe who knows what they had to go through to get to some of these places. Then you see that and you're like, oh, wow, I can do that. It seems so easy. Meanwhile, during that transformation, they weren't really sharing their struggles the whole way through, because you get to see, this is where I started, this is where I finished. But during that whole transformation, they're not going, oh my God, I just ate a whole thing of pizza. I feel so terrible about myself. I'm not losing fast enough. I don't like the way I look. Nobody says that stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody actually shares how they feel while they're going through the transformation. You just see it at the end. And then you're like,
exactly. And to your point too, right? Like, you have no idea. They may have been working for a coach for like a year, establishing those basic habits that everybody needs to have
before they even start.
Like food prepping, meal prepping, learning your macros, because those are all skills in and of itself that you really do need to learn and hone down in order to kind of go through that final 12, 16 week phase, right? And then once they're done that 12, 16 week phase or whatever it was for that particular person, how well were they able to either maintain that transformation? Did they fall back into old habits because they didn't have those in place going through the process? And so, there's all these unknowns when you see that before and after picture, for sure.
You don't know. And those clients, learning those skills of what does a meal look like? What does this much protein look like every day? Like, how much chicken do I have to buy for the week? When do I have to be prepped before? I have to be prepared. I have to have this stuff in my fridge. I have to eat again because it's been 3 hours. Those are skills that take a long time to learn. Obviously, we've been doing it forever and it's just part of my life. I don't even think about it. It's like second nature now. But for most people, it's not second nature to say, I have to eat every 3 hours or I have to have a protein with every meal. What is even a protein? What is even a protein? Some people don't even know what that even looks like. So if you're in this transformation journey, you have to think about, what skills am I learning along this journey in order to then help my transformation along the way? Because you're not just, here's your meal plan, here's your workouts, and then it's all just going to go super great, because you and me compete. and we have the meal plan, we have the program. And does it go perfect all the time? No, 100%. There's times where I'm like, I'm having peanut butter, or I'm pretty good through my workouts. So I never really skip workouts because I feel like that's for my mental health. But things like water sometimes is off in the day, or meal timing's off in the day, or things like that. So to expect like a person coming in off the street that needs to lose 30 pounds have all of these skills that we've already built into our life,
years for us to build into
like
our
years
life.
years, and we're still not even that great at it sometimes, especially when we're not like laser focused on something and a goal. So yeah, I think when you're looking at social media, comparing yourself to people is like so ridiculous. I look at it now and I'm like, first of all, I always tell my kids, you can never be somebody else. So as much as you want to look like that person, you'll never be able to be that person. You're just not that person. So why don't you try to just be the best version of you that you can? Because the thing, when we come close to competitions, I remember a couple people were like, oh my God, this girl, she's going to be there. I know she, and I'm like, I don't even think I follow anybody that I would be competing against, because I used to, like back in the day, know all the people that I was competing against, but now it's become so big and I'm kind of out of the realm of the industry in that way, that I don't really even know who's showing up at competitions, because I feel like it would screw with your head 100%. If you were like, oh my God, look at her abs look good, this looks great, and then you're like already down on yourself, but you don't even know if maybe that's just really good lighting. Really good lighting is everything. Really good posture is everything. A really good pose is everything, because if not, you're like, she doesn't look like that in real life. Like I just saw her last week at the gym. She didn't look like that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not tight and toned and pulled in everywhere.
Yep.
And I don't think that you don't show every single week your progress. I think coaches show like, she lost 20 pounds already. Meanwhile, how many weeks did she not lose anything? Yeah. Like there's so many weeks where you have to like tell your client, it's okay. You just keep staying on track, because if you don't, we're going to not even get close to your goal, because you're just going backwards. So at least we keep going forwards. Yep. Forwards is at least going to get us somewhere. Backwards is 100% not getting us there.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And I do find like the scale is a delayed response, right?
Such a delayed response.
You're going to notice other things happening first. So you may notice that all of a sudden your digestion is a lot better. You may notice that you're not so bloated throughout the day because your food choices are a lot better. You may notice that your sleeping is a lot better. You may notice that your energy is a little bit more. Your clothes might be starting to fit a little bit differently. There are so many different ways to measure progress other than what the scale says, because the scale is a delayed reaction.
But we live in a world that wants instant gratification and instant results. Yeah. And then you don't realize that all of those things that then you're feeling matter more than the scale actually. Because if you have more energy, you're going to park farther away and be able to walk. You're going to want to go for more walks. You're going to want to do more active things with your family.
You're going to be able to lift heavier in the gym.
Yeah, you're going to be doing all of those things, but all of those little things have to come before. And I think clients give up and don't. It's really, really focused on, like for women especially, it's focused on scale. And that's it. But what if you knew that you're losing weight on the scale because you're at 1,000 calories, but your body's eating its muscle? Yeah. They wouldn't care though. Most women, because they're thinking the scale's evil. I feel like I've been weighing myself every day now, because then I can see this like a little bit more of a consistent pattern at the end of the week. Because I think last week I was like 145, and then me and my kids, they went out for dinner. I didn't really eat anything because I'm prepping, but I had like one of her waffle fries. It must have had tons of salt on it. I don't know. The next day I woke up, I was like 151. And I was like, what the heck? But I would have jumped and been like, oh my God, what's wrong? That's crazy. You can't gain 5 pounds of fat in a night, but your body literally fluctuates. So if your client wakes up the one morning, say they went out for dinner that night, they had a chicken salad and it was this beautiful meal that actually stuck to their plan, but say it had more salt. The chicken was marinated in.
It always will be. It's a restaurant. Just to make the food taste good, not be healthy for you. Yeah. So no matter what, if you eat out at a restaurant, doesn't matter how healthy it is, everything on the side, you're going to be retaining water. I think it's just a fact. So just know that you're going to be holding water. So what do? Drink more water the next day. Stick to your regular activity. Get your walk in. Get your workout in. All will be well.
I've had my client 3 weeks in a row now message me on Sunday and say, can I send you my check-in on Wednesday? We went out last night to a restaurant. I had this. It was pretty good. It was whatever. I just don't want to weigh myself because I feel like it's going to mentally screw with my head. I said, yeah, of course, send it to me. Every Wednesday she sent it to me on those Wednesdays, and she's down like 20 pounds now already, and maybe even 22, and now in different dress sizes. Meanwhile, she's screwed up on that journey. If people were to hold that against you, that's a screw up. But also, it was just like, she knows herself that if she goes on the scale and she sees a high number, it's going to unmotivate her. But then again, I think you just have to really get that into people's head. Is like, you lost 6 inches. You can't gain 6 inches overnight.
No.
Like, there's not even a possibility to do that.
No.
So when you see inches going down, but your weight fluctuates going up and up. I mean, we had talked about last year, I think I was 5 pounds up like a week before my show, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that stresses you out. But it doesn't matter. Like, none of that stuff.
And I
really,
remember that too, like near the
matters.
near the end, I don't know how far out I was. It was pretty close to the show date. And like, yeah, like the scale was not, like the scale was staying status quo. And my coach is like, I don't care about the scale. Right now, I'm just looking at your pictures. I don't care about the scale. It does not matter anymore. It's all about your pictures. Yeah.
So when you're looking at social media, like, everybody's journey is so different. And I think you just have to really sit in, what things am I doing every single day consistently to go forward? If I'm hitting a roadblock all the time and I'm every weekend, every couple days, not able to like stick to this, first of all, maybe you're not on the right plan for you and maybe it's not working.
Yep.
Or maybe there's some mental stuff that you kind of have to get past in order to like.
And I find that can definitely be one too. Just the overall relationship that a lot of women have with food, right? And that is a mental challenge, obstacle that is something that we as coaches need to help women definitely get around, right? And have that positive relationship with food, that we need to fuel our bodies properly if we want it to be able to perform a certain way, right? Whether it is picking your kids up, playing with your kids, getting up and down off the floor, whether it's, getting stronger in the gym, fill in the blank as to whatever the goal is for you. But we need to be able to fuel the body properly in order to make that happen. If we starve it, 1,000 calories, 1,200 calories, then the body is just going to pare down your metabolism so that you have the energy resources to get through your day, playing with your kids, going to all the extracurricular activities, being the Uber driver, and not feel like you're at death's door
all the time. Me and my daughter are watching a show right now called Super Size versus Super Skinny. And it was like a British one. Okay. They did it years ago. I remember watching it, but now they have new episodes coming out. So it's basically a really obese person with a really skinny person, like basically anorexic, doesn't eat. They have to go in this house for 2 days, and each one of them has to switch their meal plans and they have to eat it. So it's really stressful for the person who's then anorexic because they have to eat this massive amount of food. Triathlon lady who doesn't even eat carbs. So she had to eat these massive amount of foods for 2 days. The other person has to eat like this least, like a little tiny bit. But each person gets to see, the anorexic person or the person who doesn't eat a lot gets to see that my body actually can eat more than I think. And the person who's obese can think, oh my gosh, I actually starting to feel full by the second day. Like I didn't need that much food. And at the end, they get a meal plan and they get a thing that they have to go follow for 2 months, and then they come back and hopefully the person who's skinny has gained weight and the person who lost weight and obese has lost weight. But it's really cool to see people's different habits, and being obese versus being super skinny, they're both super horrible for you. So they have to find like this. They were saying in it that if your body eats muscle, because your body will eventually eat all its muscle, your heart's a muscle. So people actually go into cardiac arrest because they're anorexic, because their heart's getting eaten by their body. Yeah. So I'm like, we have to find this like balance between.
And in order to do that, you have to slowly start fueling your body properly
and have habits like every 3 hours, protein with every meal, get a big water bottle, try to get one of those in. But it's like clients expect, like, I'm gonna lose, like we say, 30 pounds in however long. But that's taking into account that you have all the habits down pat before you even start.
And you're starting with a healthy metabolism and a healthy level of calories.
Yeah. Because if you've been under eating, then you actually have to eat more.
They need to reverse
Yeah.
diet you. We need you to get to eat more,
Yeah.
which is going to allow you to feel better, get stronger, which is good, and
Yeah.
hopefully add some muscle to your frame while maintaining a leaner or lower body fat percentage on your body as we kind of go through this process. But yeah,
Don't pay it. I guess just the biggest thing is don't pay attention to social media because we don't know what's true. And social media can just show us whatever they want to show us to market what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or
highlight reels.
it's like the photo shoots I've seen people do, and the girls are like really super skinny. And they're like, oh my God, I feel amazing. This is so great. And I'm like, you have no idea what it took for them to get there.
Yeah.
Because I've done those photo shoots 15 years ago
Yeah.
when I looked super crazy thin,
Yeah.
but I felt like crap every day. What do those girls actually feel like
Yeah.
when they look like that? They don't feel good. So social media is just like,
And I think too, like if you don't physically feel good, you are not going to have, like, as soon as you look at yourself in the mirror, it's going to be a negative image, not a positive one.
yeah, you won't look at yourself and be like, oh my God, I love myself. Look what I did for myself. You'll hate yourself because you're not loving yourself in a good way. You're actually in a toxic relationship with yourself. So when you start to like look at yourself properly and be like, this is me, and then maybe I'll love myself by learning these habits that I need to learn in order to then start a transformation. So it's very like this slow, gradual.
Yeah. Well, if you think back, you've been going through, like, how many shows have you done? Do you know off the top of your head? 20. So, like, that's a lot of off seasons. That's a lot of maintenance phases. That's a lot of lean out phases, right? And each time you've gone through each of these phases, each time you go through it, it gets better and better.
Oh my
right?
gosh,
And better.
yeah.
Like your calories slowly keep creeping up more and more and more during the off season because you're able to add more muscle on, right? But look at the years that it has taken to get to that point.
Years.
Right?
Because when I first started, right, I remember being on 1,200 calories, doing 2 hours of cardio every day, because that's what it took at that point to like get lean. But when you've then adapted these little tiny things every single day over years and years and years, they're like life skills. Yeah. It's a life skill. Yeah. All these things.
And the lean out phase gets easier because the body understands the cycle that it's going through. Yeah. Right? It doesn't see it as a threat anymore. It's like, oh, yeah, we've done this before. She's going to lean out for a bit and then all of a sudden we're going to get right back up. Yeah.
I still don't love feeling, that one thing that still triggers me is the feeling hungry. Because back when it was like super bad, you know what I mean? That really deep hunger when you can't sleep still really like triggers me. That's the scary one when you feel like that hungry, right?
Yeah. And at that point we're like 2 weeks out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's why doing shows should not be your first goal.
Oh my gosh, no, because I feel like people come to me and they say, can I do a show? And then by 3 or 4 weeks in, they're so frustrated because they're like, I'm just not going to be ready. I'm just this, because we didn't have the baseline things in order.
The foundation to the house was not there.
Yeah, you have to have, can I meal prep? Can I eat every 3 hours? Do I have protein with every meal? Am I getting my steps in? And am I drinking my water? I know. And there was a reel I posted a while ago about this mom saying this. It was funny, her saying all of these things like, I have to do this, and 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 I have to do this. That's overwhelming for somebody that's new because that's 15 things that you're supposed to do in one day. Yep. And that's going to be your health journey. Yep. But for us, we've just slowly built, like we've habit stacking. We've slowly built these habits. Yeah. But I did not start out doing every single one of these a day because that's insane.
We started by laying the concrete pad foundation. And then we slowly start putting up walls.
Some drywall,
and then we start putting up a roof. And then we start insulating and drywalling and adding shingles to the roof. Like, it takes time. And that's where people get frustrated, is that they just feel like time is slipping away and they're not going fast enough.
But if you decide to make a change in a year from now, you would be so surprised at what you could do. Exactly. Doing 2 habits, right? 2 new habits.
Totally. So don't let social media derail you, or don't let social media be the comparison was it? Don't let comparison be the comparison is the thief of all joy. So don't let comparison slow you down from your transformational journey. If you need to block somebody, if you need to unfollow somebody, do it. It's no big deal. People do it all the time, every day. Find somebody or something that resonates with you at now that particular point in your journey, and go from there. Thanks everybody for listening today, and we truly appreciate you. And let us know what your biggest takeaway was today, and if you have any questions you want answered on the podcast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast to automatically receive your episodes and to help us reach more listeners. We would love to connect with you on our socials, either Facebook or Instagram, with links in the show notes. Till next time, keep taking those small steps towards your best life.